Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, August 30th, 2024. I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the executive minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ plus community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is the justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ plus community.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections. This is live, and then we are available on demand. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform and social media.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we're here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Feathered flamingo flamboyance as love wins again. In a sweet story covered by LGBTQNation, a display of love and dedication is featured between Curtis and Arthur, a gay pair of Chilean flamingos at Paignton Zoo in Devon, England. This flamingo couple has successfully hatched a chick. This remarkable event marks the first successful hatching of Chilean flamingo chicks at the zoo since 2018. And it happened in a two-dad flamingo family. Pete Smallbones, the zoo's bird curator, shared his excitement saying, and I'm quoting Smallbones, regarding the same-sex parenting, we aren't entirely sure how this has come about, unquote, although it is a known phenomenon in Chilean flamingos as well as other bird flocks. Smallbones says that the most likely scenario is that the egg was abandoned by another couple, so the pair have adopted it. Same-sex activity and even life bonding are not uncommon in several species, and it is interesting to note that a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. As with humans, not all flamingo romances make it. In 2022, there was news of a flamingo gay couple named Freddy Mercury and Lance Bass breaking up after 3 years together.
Aww.
The Queer God Squad is happy to point out this evidence of same-sex pair bonding and family forming in nature. Is this information useful for LGBTQ affirming spiritual communities? Is there a theological point to draw from this? Or is it just sweet that two dads have a baby to love? I say yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
I think that we can read into most things, anything that we want. And it's time to acknowledge that in nature, same-sex couples exist. Mm-hmm. To say that we don't exist is just crazy. We always tell the story about the creation story. And if you look at where Eve comes from, if you look where Adam comes from, you'd start to wonder, well, what is this X and Y chromosome story? But anyway, I leave that to Reverend Dr. Darrell. What I see in this story is just a beautiful pairing that's taking care of another life. What can be better than that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we raised our oldest grandson. We were a loving couple then, we're still a loving couple now, and he's out there with his own family, his wife and 2 children, and I think that because of the love he saw in our house, he's able to share that love with his family, and hopefully his daughters will go forward and share it with whatever their families will look like in the future. So yeah, yay for our gay flamingos, yay for our gay folk everywhere. We're here, we're queer, get used to it.
And flamboyant.
And flamboyant.
Well, we're used to it, Kevin. We're just used to it, yeah.
There's literally thousands of species that have same-sex activity, but there's some species, as we see, that also do pair bonding. That they mate for life, and that's same gender and opposite gender. And so that you have multiple stories of 2 birds of the same gender not only being together, or penguins, or I guess they're birds too, aren't they? Or are they mammals? And are you a bird if you're a mammal? Anyway, I'm not a scientist. Yeah, but that the pairing, not only the sex, but the commitment, the covenant, if you will, and then the nurturing of a family that comes together in various ways. And so that really is ubiquitous throughout nature. Now, when people say, oh, it's unnatural what you are, well, actually it's not, because zillions of, well, then usually the retort is, yeah, but okay, even though it's in nature, you have the ability to choose, and you have a higher brain, and stop. when it wasn't natural, and then it takes that long to show you that you're wrong. Now you're all no. Would you please? I'm just instructed that if you hatch an egg, you're not a mammal. So
That's correct. That's correct.
now I know. I'm probably supposed to have known in a 10th grade biology test, but that was hundreds of years ago. But anyway, that it's just beautiful whenever you see it.
Right. Yes.
It happens all throughout nature. And don't mess that up with some creepy religion.
Leave it alone.
We're religious people, but we don't want religion to be ugly. We don't want politics to be ugly. We don't want families to be ugly. Like, let the institutions be their best.
Right.
And their best when they promote love, compassion, dignity, kindness. And so, yeah, if you can't be as sweet, as kind, as caring as two flamingos who mate for life and raise a kid that they got by some means, just fell in their laps, and they're like, oh, here's a kid, I guess we'll take care of it.
There you
because we're good flamingos. We're good people. We're good beings. So this is an example, I think, of what we're meant to be. And yes, diverse and loving and accepting, and whatever your lot is, be good about it.
I love it.
Right, right. You know, in here it says, is there a theological point to draw from? Yeah, love. I mean, we say that here at Sunshine Cathedral all the time. It's about love. It's all about love. And if it's not about love, it's not of God. It's about love.
Love, love, love.
This is about two flamingos, happen to be male, great, fabulous, caring for and supporting a young flamingo. Okay, great. Love, care, support. That's our theological point.
I love it.
That's it. It's that simple.
That's almost our whole religion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And the one side of my gut thinks, God, what would the other side of this do with a story like this? It's like, how would they turn this into something negative or evil, or, ugly or evil? There's no turning this story, really. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And it is a story about, it's about, a family taking in someone who has been left outside, ostracized for whatever reason.
Yep.
And there are flamingos, just like human, taking someone at sea and to raise, to nurture, to love them, and to care for them. And hopefully grew up in a way that they also repeat that same thing over and over again.
Yep.
And if that isn't about love and caring as an example of how we should do it, then I don't know what other story there is. And so I'm just hopeful that we'll continue to go.
And same-sex coupling may not be completely uncommon, but it's also not completely normative. Like, it's not what everyone does.
Right. Yeah.
But so here are these, so they're different, these two. Not unheard of, it's not a crazy thing. It happens now and again, but maybe 3, 4, 5, 10%, like, everything else. But there's no evidence that the other flamingos are mean to them about it.
Exactly. No one
It's like, well, you're not like us.
Yeah.
You're not like us, but that's them.
You're
and
off
then
the
they've got
island.
this chick that everybody knows that they didn't, this egg didn't roll out of them, and nobody's mean about that, that just care, love.
Yep.
This part of our community has formed in this way. Good on them.
Exactly.
Just good on them.
There you go.
That's I think that's the theological point. Be as good as birds, or as puppies. Our dog sounds vicious, but she has never bitten anybody. And she's never, once she decided, once she barked at you and
you're okay,
and you walk up on her and she sniffs you and you pet her, she doesn't care if you're fat. She doesn't care if you're short. She doesn't care if you're 116 years old. She doesn't care anything about you other than that you are a being who is able to appreciate her and love on her. And be as good as your dog. Be as good as your cat. Be as good as flamingos. And if religion is making you worse than these creatures of God, it's doing you a disservice.
Take a long, hard look.
And just be flamboyant.
Be flamboyant.
Flamboyant.
That's the word. Yes. And that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.